Hi guys, so welcome to this edition of another DevOps project. So today we're going to be learning how to, set up our website using our virtual machine, right? So we're going to be learning how to set up our website, right, or deploy our website using um, our CentOS machine or our virtual machine. All right. Now, why I actually said CentOS is because we have different types of virtual machines. We have Ubuntu, we have Fedoras, and we have different types of virtual machine. But for the purpose of this project, we're going to be using specifically our CentOS machine. Now, what this means is when we deploy our website, let's take for instance, you have a website you're trying to set up or you're trying to deploy, right? So when you use any of these virtual machines, but specifically for this tutorial, we're going to be using CentOS. So when you deploy your website, using the virtual machine, right? You're going to see it live. People can actually, access your website via their browser. All right, so first things first, we are going to talk about some of the tools we'll be using for this project or for this setup. Number one is you'll need a virtual machine. Sorry, you'll need a virtual box, right? You need to install Oracle VirtualBox, right? That's the first tool you will have to install on your machine or on your PC. Secondly, you also need Git Bash, right? You also need Git Bash. And thirdly, you'll need preferably I love using Brave browser, right? So you also need a Brave browser. It's very simple to install, right? So the reason why I prefer using Brave browser is because it doesn't allow these ads from Google, this marketing ads. So I love using Brave browser for that purpose. So we're going to be needing Brave browser, and lastly, we're also going to be installing Vagrant on our PC. Okay, some of these tools I mentioned, I've installed them on my PC, so I'm not going to be installing them, but I'm going to show you how you can actually install them on your PC. So as you can see on my, as you can see on right now, I'm actually using Git Bash, right? So we'll talk about all these tools one after the other, but let's just go straight to our Brave browser. All right, so this is our Brave browser. So the first thing you would want to do is to install Oracle uh, VirtualBox. Yeah, so this is it here. So when you just go in your browser, you can type Oracle VirtualBox. So it should take you to this website where you can download your Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, so you can see it here. Just if you're using uh, Windows, Mac, and the likes of them, Linux, you can see your different distribution on how to download them. So just click on accept, and so you can see the different distributions here. So whatever PC you're using, so you can find your distribution right there. So the second thing we would want to install is our Git Bash, right? So yeah, so Git Bash download. So when you type Git, I believe the the rest outcome should show. So Git Bash should you'd want to download this, right? So this is going to be the terminal we're going to be working with. So you can see mine here. I've already downloaded it, so I don't have to download it again. So you're going to download Git Bash, all right? And obviously Brave browser. This is the Brave browser I'm using. So you'd want to go on Google and type Brave browser. Yeah, Brave browser. So you see this lion head as the logo. So just click on it, right? Brave browser, click on it, and it should take you to the original website where you can download it. So just click on it, you download it and install it on your PC. So it's very easy to install. All these tools are very easy to install. All right. So and the last thing we'd want to install is Vagrant. Now, I'll be speaking a little bit on Vagrant, just to give you a heads up of what Vagrant is all about. So you just type here, go to this website, yeah, Vagrant Cloud, Vagrant. Some persons call it Vagrant, some persons call it Vagrant. So I think Vagrant is preferable for me. Vagrant. Okay. So go to this website, Vagrant Cloud. Just type on your browser Vagrant cloud, you should see this first one here, this one by HashiCorp, right? This HashiCorp developer. So click on it. When you click on it, you should see this install prompt up here. So click on install, right? So if you're using Mac, if you're using Windows, if you're using Linux, you can see your different distributions or operating system here. So obviously I'm using, for the purpose of this video, I'm using Windows, right? So, and I've already installed it already on my PC. So just click on download, or depending on the version you're using. So I'm using 64, AMD 64. So when I click on download, I follow the the pop-up, install it, and that's it. So it's, it will be installed on your PC. So I've already installed all these tools on my PC. I use them basically every day. So I've installed them on my PC. Just, do the same thing and join us in the class. Okay. So having, installed all these tools, let me talk about Vagrant. Now, mind you, the purpose of this video is actually to teach you or to show you how we can install our website, or how we can deploy our website using, our virtual machines. And I said specifically we're using CentOS. Right. Now, the usefulness of Vagrant is actually for us to, is going to help us control our virtual machine. Right. Now, let's take for instance you have let's take for instance you have um you have a folder where you kept your pictures, right? So for you to access those pictures, you need, let's say you passworded, the folder, right? So for you to access that folder, or for you to access the pictures, you need your password, right? So same with Vagrant. So for us to control our virtual machines automatically, because there are two ways to actually use these VMs. You can install them manually, or you can automate them. So the automation is where Vagrant comes in. So Vagrant helps us to control our virtual machines, with a simple command. Vagrant is actually, I would say, is actually very simple to understand or to use, right? So it helps us control our VMs, be it Ubuntu, CentOS, Fedora, and the likes of them. It helps us to control our VMs automatically with just a simple command. So when you install it, then we can now start using Vagrant. Okay. All right. So I believe by now we should understand the tools we're going to be using. VirtualBox, our Gate Bash, our Brave browser. I've told you the reason why I like using it. Then obviously our Vagrant. So you need to install these tools on your PC. Okay. All right. So this is Git Bash. So when you install it, your terminal should look like this, like mine, obviously. Now, just to take us back to why we're doing this project, okay? Let's say you have your website and you want to automate, so you want to deploy your website, on the internet, or you want to make your website visible for, users to actually access it, right? You can actually do that by using, your VMs, right? So I'm going to be teaching you how we can actually automate or deploy our website using our VMs. And I said specifically we will be using, CentOS. Now, this CentOS, right? For us to use this CentOS, we need to first of all install Vagrant. And I believe you've installed Vagrant already. Okay. So the next thing we'd want to do, right, is to create a directory. Okay. So how do we do it? Now, if you want to understand these commands I'm going to be using, right, these Linux commands I'm going to be using, I'll create a special video for it where I explain, or where I'll be explaining in details what these commands are used for. But just follow me, because the commands are easy to understand and to remember. Okay, so I want to create a folder on my PC where I will be installing um, the, what's it called now, the VM, the CentOS. But mind you, you need to install Vagrant first, because if you don't install Vagrant, you cannot, use this. You cannot automatically use this VM. So I believe we've installed it already. So I'm going to create a folder, mkdir. Now, what this means is make directory, right? The short form, make directory. That's what this command means. So I'm going to call it website. Sorry. before I do that, I want to create this folder on my desktop so I don't go about looking for it. So I'll have to cd this. The word cd means change directory. So I'm going to cd into my desktop, hit enter. Now you can see I am inside my desktop environment. So cd inside your desktop, change your directory into your desktop. Now that I'm already inside my desktop environment, I want to create the folder there. So I'll call this folder mkdir. So I'm going to call this folder website. Let's call it website since we're trying to deploy our website. So I'm going to call this folder website. Hit enter. The folder has been created. Okay. Now I want to get into the folder because that's where I'm going to be installing my CentOS. So same thing, I'm going to change directory into websites, hit enter. Good. Now you can see inside my desktop environment, I've already created, or I created a folder called website. Now I have entered into the folder. Now if I write this command ls, you won't see anything inside the folder. It means the folder is empty. This ls means list files or list whatever we have inside this folder. This ls, it means list, right? List whatever we have in the folder. So obviously we don't have anything inside the folder, right? So it won't show us anything. So I'm going to clear my screen because the command is too much. I'm just going to write this command clear. So this command helps us to clear our screen. Okay, good. Now, so how do we find these sensors? How do we get this VM to install them or to install it so we can use it to deploy our website? Now, go to your Brave browser. There's this website. Now, it's going to be hard. In my own case, most days it's kind of confused because it keeps redirecting me to different prompts. So what I do basically, I just come here, I type discover. Yeah, cool. You can see it right here, discover vagrant boxes. So when you type this on your browser, discover vagrant boxes, you should see, yeah, click on this first link here. You can see it here, discovering vagrant boxes, you know, slash vagrant and all of that. So just click on the first one here, then click on go to the search, go to the box search page. So just click on this. It should take you straight there, I believe. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. All right. So now that we're here, okay, like I said, we're going to be using our CentOS, okay, and preferably we have different versions of CentOS. CentOS we have 7 and the likes of them. So we're going to be using CentOS 9. So I'm just going to type here CentOS space 9. Hit enter. All right. So this is the CentOS I'm going to be using. Euro Linux hyphen vagrant slash CentOS hyphen stream hyphen 9. So this is what I'm going to be using. So when I click on it, basically you can get different distributions from here. Let me go back. Let me just go back and show you something. Now, mind you, we're using this one, but I just want to show you that we can actually get different VMs and install them from here. Now, this is Ubuntu, right? There are different distributions or versions of Ubuntu. So the most common one basically is this Ubuntu Germany. Yeah, let me see message. Yeah, good. This is, I would say, the most common virtual box that's being used, in my opinion, right? Because we have different Ubuntu VMs. So Germany 64 is one of the used VMs out there. So, but we're not using this for today. So we're going to be using our CentOS 9. Perfect. So when I click on it, this one, please, this one, don't not the other ones you see on your screen. This one here with the E logo. So when you click on it, all right. So it's telling us how we can actually use this vagrant box, right? So you can see this command. So I'm going to explain this command when we get into our environment. But what I want you to do here, what I'm doing, just copy from the 9 straight to your euro. Okay. copy it. Please don't add any space because it's going to give us an error when we're trying to do it. So just copy, from the 9 down to your E. So go to your your git bash. Please, you need to first of all install Vagrant before you can actually use the Vagrant command to control, your VM. All right. With this simple command, Vagrant, sorry, Vagrant init. Now, this Vagrant init means initialize. Vagrant init. Vagrant initialize. So, what are we initializing? We're initializing this guy here, this virtual box. Sorry, this, yes, our VN, our virtual machine. That's what we are initializing. Okay. So when I hit enter, it should start downloading this virtual machine into our directory. So just give it some time. All right, perfect. We're done with the download. So when I now probably for now when I typed Alex, we didn't see nothing in the folder or in the directory. That's our website directory. So when I run the same command again, ls, you should see a vagrant file, which means this setup has worked, right? Our VM has, successfully downloaded. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to make some changes. I want to make some changes inside this our file. This is our background file. Okay, now we have different editors out there. You can use Vim, you can use Nano, you can use your VS Code and likes of them. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using Nano. Nano is I would say it's very cool for me. So whatever editor you're comfortable with, you can actually use it. So I want to get into this file and make some changes. Okay. So please be careful. We have capital letter V, right? Capital V, not small case. So I'm just going to do vagrant file, then hit enter. Okay, we're inside the file. So this is everything that is contained in this vagrant file. You can see the VM we're using, the VM box we're using. You can see the name here, right? So which means we're using our CentOS, right? You can see everything here. All right. So for the purpose of this video, because I'm trying to make it as short as possible. Now we're just going to be now, okay, before we make some changes, whenever you see this hash sign, it means that this line of code cannot run, right? So when you remove the hash sign, right, it means the line of code can actually work right now. So all of these hash signs means this file this file is running without this code, okay? But I need some of these informations here to work for me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to uncheck some of these informations just so we can use them, because if we leave it like this, we can't use them. Okay, now the first thing first I want to uncheck is to uncheck the private network. This IP address is a private IP address, right? So if you want to understand IPs, I would advise you go on YouTube and search for Germany IT Lab, right? He's actually a good instructor. He's going to teach you everything you need to know about IP, you know. So, but this is a private IP. Now, why do I need to uncheck this IP? I want to uncheck it because it's going to help. I want to use it. I want to use this IP address, this private IP address, to access our websites on our browser, preferably Brave browser. So I want to uncheck it because I want to use this IP address to, access our our website. Okay, so I've unchecked it. You can see now the this line of code can actually run. So when I save this file, it means I can start using this IP address. So the next thing I want to do is to uncheck this my just so I can actually use my what's it called now? My internet connection, basically my router internet connection. That's what this line of code means. So you can see my network here. So it means this file can learn my network and use it. So that's the second thing I'm going to be doing. Then I believe we've downloaded our VirtualBox already. So if we've downloaded our VirtualBox, because Vagrant, please emphasis on this. Vagrant needs your VirtualBox to carry out its operation. So I'm going to uncheck this because VirtualBox is my provider. So that's the reason why I'm unchecking this line of code here. And the second to the last thing I would want to do is to give, now I want to give this our VM, right? This our virtual machine 1 gig memory space to work. Now virtual machine is more like you're creating another machine inside your physical computer, right? Now, when we run this command, you're going to be seeing a virtual machine running. Now, this virtual machine, let me just explain it in a layman's term. What this means is you have your physical computer, but you have another computer running inside your computer. Does that make sense? I believe it does. All right. So what I'm simply doing right now, I'm assigning 1 gig memory space to my VM. The VM I'm going to be creating inside my computer. So that's what this the VirtualBox memory means. So this 1024 means is equivalent to 1 gig, right? So the last thing that I want to uncheck here is this end. So it means, obviously the end of this whole thing. So once you're done with this configuration, you may not understand everything that's happening here, but like I said, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to keep it as simple as possible. Just follow what I'm doing. You should, get um, a good result at the end of the whole thing. Okay. So once you're done with this setup, just on your keyboard press Ctrl and X, then hit Y, then hit enter. Good. So we are done with this setup in our Vagrant file, excuse me. So the next thing we want to do is want to bring up this VM. We've downloaded it, but we want to bring it up so we can start using it. So we can